Hey everybody, Clint with Alternative Athletics here, and earlier today I was talking to a member about the Bulgarian split squat and specifically why I don't generally program them into the daily workouts, because once I put a clock out there or develop a scoring system, people tend to do movements very quickly, and with the Bulgarian split squat I find that people are better served if you slow down the movement and make it more deliberate. All right. As we're going through it, of course, it came up that hey, deliberate movements, that should be the next video. And here we are. So I don't know how many times in my life I've been told to move with a purpose. And most of the time, that means get off your butt and get going. All right, no matter what you're trying to accomplish. However, today I want to flip that on its head and talk about purposeful movement. So no matter what kind of circuit training, HIIT training that you're performing, we have this tendency to believe that the clock is good. The clock is my friend, and the clock is the only way to get to intensity. And that intensity is the be-all, end-all. And today I want to talk about when to slow things down, how to maintain intensity when you slow things down, and to have purpose in your movements, all right? Not everything should just be how fast can I get these reps done. All right, so time to slow down. The very first one is with injuries, all right? There's a couple things going on here. First, movement, the neurological system that helps you move a muscle body, is the same neurological system that registers pain, okay? So, while you're moving, you hurt less. And how many times have we been told in athletic programs, you get injured, what's coach say? Go walk it off. It's actually really good advice. It will help you get back into whatever you're doing. It deadens the pain a little bit. It allows you to keep moving so it doesn't stiffen up and swell up. But at the same time, if you're shooting for full out intensity and you're feeling less of the injury, you have more ability to do more damage. So whether you are pre-op, post-op, or you're just trying to avoid a situation, these are great times to slow down. Your surgery is scheduled, you don't want to do further damage so that they don't have to do more cutting on you. You got cut on 2 weeks, a month ago, you're still healing up, you're testing the waters to see where you're at. Or you got something that's bugging you, a shoulder, a knee. This is the time that we can increase intensity by slowing down, all right? Get the muscle to change and adapt the way we want it to, but not necessarily do it through speed, okay? Not by throwing ourselves against the clock or focusing on the clock, all right? A great way, I love to do this on all this, so you know what your back squat is, you take your back squat way down. So if today we're trying to do a volume set at 55% of max, take it down to a third of your max or a quarter of your max. And instead of doing the reps at full speed, do a deliberate 3-second lower with a deliberate 3-second raise, whether that's a squat or, God forbid, a pull-up or a bench press. Your intensity is going to go up really quick when you slow down that movement and make it more deliberate, all right? Physique change. Okay, so if we are trying to cut weight, if you're trying to slim down, I shouldn't say cut weight, because you might actually go up in weight, but if you're trying to tighten up and look more developed, have a better sense of your muscle structure, look better, naked, however you want to look at it, by decreasing your speed, by being more deliberate in your movements, it leads to hypertrophy. So a greater eccentric phase, the muscle body being loaded while extending and making that a longer cycle of the movement is going to help with hypertrophy. All right? Now, the other thing that hypertrophy does, besides just make a bigger muscle body, is if this is my bone, and this is my muscle body, and these are my tendons that are attaching to it, if I make that muscle body bigger, then the angle to that joint is steeper, which means I actually have better leverage. I have more contractibility, I am stronger. All right, so if you start slowing down your movements to increase hypertrophy, you can actually make yourself stronger. You can move more weight. Now, does that mean that you're going to be faster at the mile, or the 5K, or the 400, which is running in the corner back here? Not necessarily, because you're probably going to be carrying more weight. All right? But is your bench press going to go up? Yeah. Are you going to probably get more pull-ups? Absolutely, if you got better leverage. Depending on how much muscle you put on and where you put it on. All right? So slowing down can create hypertrophy, which will increase strength and allow for physique change. Now, does that mean you have more power? No. All right? Power requires coordination and speed. So it's one piece of the puzzle to work on. All right, another one, vertigo. So, when we're on the GHD, a lot of people experience vertigo when they're moving up, down at a quick rate. This also translates to burpees. But if you have something where you're moving up and down, your head's being changed direction a lot, then this can lead to the inner ear having a hard time keeping up, and you get nauseous, you get sick to your stomach, right? If you slow down on the glute hamstring developer, if you make your movements more deliberate, you might have to add assistance with a band to do this, but you are going to have increased that eccentric phase, and you're going to allow your inner ear to have a better chance to keep up. So it's a time to slow down and be deliberate in your movements. Whether you are doing sit-ups or you're working the back side of the body, anywhere from a full GHD raise, or just the top half with a hamstring curl, or the bottom half with a hip or back extension. All right. Another one is activity specific, and I am not sure if this is going to fit into the frame. So, my running of this business for the last 16 years, I have never really gotten into butterfly pull-ups. So I've learned how to do butterfly pull-ups well enough that I can help teach it to other people, but for myself, in workouts, I don't like to use butterfly pull-ups. They're a great way to get a lot of work done very quickly, but as a rock climber, there's not a lot of points in my life where I'm able to go like this on the rock, all right? So for myself, I try to do as many strict pull-ups as possible, which translates better to certain aspects of rock climbing, and then when I have no more gas in the tank, I'll go to a kipping pull-up, or if I know I'm going to do a whole bunch at once, I'll go to a kipping pull-up. All right. Another time that this is great is general strength training. So whether that is strongman competitions, general farm and ranch work, any point where you have to pick something up, maintain your structure so you don't wreck your back, and move from one place to another, if you try to hustle as fast as you can, there's a good chance that you're going to get injured, because you're going to get out of position, you're going to lose your balance, you're going to let your core collapse. And this is a great time to slow down, be deliberate, build that strength, so that when you have to move, whether that's moving a body out of a burning building, dragging a buddy out of a firefight, or sun's going down and you got to get the work done so that the load doesn't get ruined, then yeah, you have the ability to do that quickly because you've developed the strength slowly. All right? So, once again, the clock can be your friend, but there are many times that it is better to slow down, be more deliberate with your movements, and no matter what you do, move with a purpose and know what that purpose is. All right, have a great workout.